Happy
Boom.
Lunar New
Ni hao,
Year.
namaste.
Happy New Year.
HexAsians.
Namaste. Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Quila.
Year of the
Gene
Tiger.
Quilla. Here's the tiger.
Yeah.
No frosted
It's
flakes.
the year
Yeah, I
of
need
the
my
meow
frosted
meow.
flakes. God.
Tony the Tiger. Oh, man.
This year's gonna be great.
Uh,
Right.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's true. We're going to have Pulse Chain and Pulse X. So.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
Well,
I am the tiger.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there we go.
Gongi Thatcher.
We had a little premature ejaculation there.
Ejaculation.
For the non-Chinese speaking, it means hope you get rich. And
Yep,
Basically.
that is right. Yep.
Yeah.
Hope you get rich. Make lots of money.
Yeah.
I'll keep this reserved for later. And
where's my Otoshidama?
Toshidama.
What?
I
Did
can't
somebody
believe
put
I'm
a
seeing you guys
thumbnail
here.
in there for the YouTube?
What's
Did
that?
Did
you
we?
did you put a thumbnail up and everything?
Yeah, we put one up.
You did?
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
thumbnail.
Oh, okay.
Who's got the little
you know
bell?
what?
You got a cat bell on there, middle class? Is that how your wife keeps track of you?
Yep.
Jingling
Yeah.
around?
Yeah, that's his ankle brace. He can't ankle brace it.
Oh, dude, it's not funny, man.
Did you what's wrong with your neck? You got like a double chin or something today? You got put on some
Yes.
weight? You got
Yeah,
What's
put
wrong?
on some weight. Put on some weight. Plastic surgery. You know that's
Wow.
gone wrong from Korea or claimed to be Korean. One or the other. So it must be. It's all
So
Frank's
you're-
fault. So
So you're an Asian Bogdanov, is what you're saying.
Hold on, there's something different with your hair too. Can you get a light background on that do? What's
a
up
light
with that?
background. What?
Well, we can't
what do
see
you
it.
mean?
You're blending in with
Can't
the
see
dark
back,
background.
Yeah, that's better, isn't it?
You- Oh, very
There you
nice.
go.
That's
The
the
classic
Oh.
middle class ponytail rocking.
yes. I would like my 3 wishes now, sir.
No, did,
The genie.
my, sorry, I was about to say with the hair, my wife was making a bit of a really funny statement because I live in an apartment right now. It says, how long do you want to grow your hair? So as long as it goes from the 24th floor all the way down. So just shout Rapunzel and I'll let my hair down.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Or the Asian version, Rapunzel.
Oh, yeah.
Rapunzel.
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 Yes.
Be careful that LR inversion, right?
Rapunzel.
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 Let down your hair.
And I go, no, why not? It's green screen. Don't worry, it's all green screen. don't poke the matrix, man. It will just show ones and zeros coming down.
Oh my God! Has anybody
Green
seen the
binary.
latest iteration of that movie?
No.
Don't.
I do not want
I hear it's pretty
to.
bad.
I don't wanna. I don't wanna.
Don't.
No. No.
Don't.
Just
If you haven't-
let's just leave it at that, okay? Let's just leave
So
good.
someone's
and
watched
good,
it.
okay.
It's the lame tricks
No.
more like.
Yeah. Lame tricks is definitely the term.
Damn it.
Mike.
I didn't watch any of them. I didn't like them, so.
Oh,
Oh,
You
you
didn't
gotta
watch
watch
any
the
of them
first
and you
one.
didn't like them. So how do you know if
You're
you didn't like
banned.
them if you didn't watch them?
I'm
You're
sorry.
banned.
This is Frank's last.
People talking about it and
appearance.
all that stuff. It's not my
The
style. I
poster
don't like
was not appealing, so I did not watch them. I did not like them.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Yeah, there's the streamer that I watch on Twitch that he never even seen Star Wars. I'm like,
What?
What?
that's
Well,
What?
Yes, Star Wars is different.
Hey,
Star
what
Wars is
about-
awesome.
Well,
But some
Oh,
people
Star
are
Wars is
Not even the
different, but-
originals?
77 to 83 is unexcusable, but everything else that's a blessing if you miss them all.
Pretty much.
What about like Lord of the Rings or Game of Thrones or something?
I've never
Well-
seen either of those.
Oh
there you
my
go.
god.
Oh my god.
This is Wales
Those are
Only's
worth
last
watching, in my
appearance on
opinion.
HexAsians.
Lord of the Rings and what's the other one? Game of Thrones? Come on,
Game of
man.
Thrones. Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I was in the
Wales.
streets. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? I was either in the streets or in the fucking desert getting blown up. You motherfuckers
yeah, that's
talking about some fucking fairy tales and shit.
Man,
He
I
was
saw that
filming
shit
some real
myself. I
shit.
served in the military. I don't need to see that.
All the good clips, yeah. All the naked scenes.
Oh yeah.
Oh
He's
yeah.
like, I don't
What
have
about
time for
Rome?
the whole thing. Just
I,
All
I
the
know
good
you saw
stuff.
Rome.
All right,
Rome
well-
season only one.
Oh, Rome? Rome was badass.
Yeah, that was
Until they ran out of budget and they said nobody's watching this shit, and that was it. How about Spartacus? How about that whole thing?
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Is that was after,
Oh,
right? Was that
it was
after Rome?
After Rome, yeah.
They try to
That's
What are
read
these?
Spartacus. Is that the one with the guy that you talking about the show or the movie?
The movie, you know, the show. It's like
The
5
show, the one-
seasons. Yeah.
Yeah, where the guy dies or something, like
The
mid
guy,
show.
the actor died. Yeah.
Yeah, the actor dies or whatever. My bad. The actor
Yeah.
died. But it was
The
he
guy
was a good
dies.
one.
Yeah. The guy dies.
Yeah, he was a good one when they swapped
A
him
little
out with
different than the character dying.
Yeah, it is a
It was
little different.
incredible
You guys
special
get my
effects.
point,
They had
man.
a funeral and
Clearly you get my
everything.
point. If anybody's
They had a
seen
modern
Spartacus-
funeral. It was a little bit pastiche, but then it worked.
But that show was good though. But when that guy
Oh, yeah.
died in real life, that was pretty much it.
This is-
Not at the
Happy
show.
New Year, everyone.
First week.
The second chance.
Yeah. For the year of the tiger.
Yes.
Mhm.
And second chance to fail them as well.
Vince, I just posted something. It's off topic, but when we can, when D-Raj is all done with his 30-minute, 10 sentences that he's going to get out.
We should
Now-
petition YouTube for a 10x button. Okay.
It never gets old.
Oh my God, no mercy today.
What?
What?
What? What? What?
C2.
You're gonna have to say that
C2.
again. C2 raspberry what?
Red
C2.
tea.
Red tea.
Oh, red what?
tea.
Red tea.
Ah, it's
Okay.
C2.
That was funny.
C2 sky.
I'm drinking jasmine tea.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wait.
to make the tea trifecta, I'm drinking paradise tea.
Proof
Ooh.
of
We're not Asian at all.
And what's that?
I don't know what it is.
What's
Don't
that
ask
gross
me.
What is
Green
that,
is
sir?
like ice melt.
He
I
said
don't know what
he's
it's
doing
like.
it is. He's
Some
just drinking
leaves
it.
or something. I don't know.
I don't know
I'm
what
not
it is, but I
aware.
found it.
I'm just consuming this. Quite all right. No expectation. from
Wells
liquid
Wells is
bitter.
drinking
From the
bong
drink
water.
of others. Oh, God. We're off to a good start. It's going to be a great year, guys.
It's going to be a
Yeah.
great year.
My face already hurts. And we're
Great.
only, man, look, my face already hurts, and we're only 9 minutes in. This is gonna be.
It's gonna be great. Someone find me a cereal box.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yay.
Like, it's hard to keep up with all the X.
I stubbed my crypto. Oh, the name is gorgeous.
I love it.
But this, who said
I
it?
love the names.
Yeah.
The only ones that matter.
But it's true. That's true. Dheeraj
That's why
had the
we're
same
here.
had the same idea as well. Yeah.
So, Papa, what is
Yes.
this?
Well, this is very important because this is a place in Japan where you go to get your cock real strong.
Ah.
And
then let me.
No, I don't buy that for a second.
Other one.
That's it's true. Where else? What else would you do there?
Yes.
Oh, what?
There it is. See?
Oh, okay.
Very strong chi.
Strong
Okay.
Strong
That's what
chi.
I saw.
That's gonna be my. I'm gonna steal
Just to
that
zoom in
logo.
on the logo.
Yes, there you go. Chi.
Gotta train those. Yeah, gotta train those fighting cocks.
I'm sorry that joke was so foul.
Man.
Yeah, I got some other disgusting things to share because I've been saving them up, you guys, with your hiatus because middle class is relocating and forgot to bring any mobile type of devices with him to run streams.
Sure, you have
so
a
much to
huge
save
treasure
up.
trove of memes.
And Captain Logitech was he was taking care of business as well.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last stream from us? December or November? November 21?
November, I think.
December.
November.
Late December?
Oh, yeah, December, I think.
Yeah, we streamed in December.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was December.
Yeah, December.
It wasn't that too long.
We might have did a Christmas one, maybe. No.
Yeah, we did one like right before Christmas, I think.
Yeah. 2 days. Our last stream was actually 2 days before the PulseX sacrifice went live.
Remember this guy?
Oh.
Yes.
Forgot about that guy.
That's a Hexo, my Hexo bowling pin.
Let me see if I can get this.
No, good shit. But either way, I think it's for me. It's nice to see you all again.
Yes,
absolutely.
Oh yeah, that too.
You too.
We are all alive.
It has been a while.
Yeah, I asked Hex is the way to come in as well. She lives somewhere, or he or she. I don't even know whether or not it's he or she. I believe from what he says, it's probably a she. To come in as well. She lives somewhere over in America, so it's going to be somewhere around 6 o'clock or so, 7 o'clock. She said if she can make it and wakes up, she will join the chat today as well. She is from the Korean community.
Nice.
Nice.
We'll see what happens here. If you can grow their
they have
channel.
they have a YouTube channel by the same name. Yeah.
Hex is the way? Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
Korean
YouTube channel.
Yep.
Hey, at some point, can we play the Hexagate, the one without the sold it on a double muted, or is that part actually?
Oh my god, yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you could send me a link.
Yeah, no, hold on, let's see.
Hold on, I'll probably find it.
Oh yeah, well, I got it.
I don't have it, but I can probably find it.
I didn't want to interrupt your rolling. Hold on. Let's see.
Oh, we got a treasure comment for Papa B.
Oh my god. What is this? Okay, part one. It's a two-parter. Okay.
It's a two-parter.
Okay. Hey Papa, I've watched your Hex audio video. Well, you listened to it? Okay, Hex audio video
Oh,
on Treasure
audio
Wallet's
video.
useful. I'm a little
Audio
nervous
video.
about setting this up on an existing MetaMask wallet with long stakes in dot.
Oh, correction.
dot, dot,
It's
dot.
actually a three-parter.
Okay,
Uh-oh.
there's two. Right, there's one. Is there anything for me to be nervous about?
Cool.
Okay, let me answer that one. The answer is absolutely
Yes.
not. Shut up, whales. Yes, be very afraid of whales to jump out and grab all of your stakes.
Oh,
No, there's nothing to be worried about. You're talking about a standard migration of a seed from MetaMask into a brand new Trezor device or a factory wiped Trezor device. That's fine. We covered that one. Is a hardware wallet required if I don't have any plans to connect my MetaMask wallet to computer only when I want to end stakes in years to come? The answer is and then there was a dragon.
Oh, shit.
The answer is, wow, okay. The answer is you're asking my blessing to forego the use of a hardware wallet. Instead, use your laptop, which may be defunct and decrepit years from now, and then you'll be in the same place you are now, minus the security. So no, I wouldn't do that. And finally, and why do you advise two hardware wallets? Thanks. Because one would be the migratory wallet that you would actually take your MetaMask seeds and introduce them. Yep, that's right. Yellow Dragon approves. You would introduce your seeds into the first wallet. That would be a migratory wallet. The second wallet you would start up standard with a 24-word seed phrase, and that would be your vault wallet. That's where you send all of your liquid assets as soon as they become liquid. You're trying to migrate away from the seed that once was generated as a 12-word seed phrase from your browser extension in MetaMask. So please, I'm not going to endorse you to forego it because you think you're careful and you're managing things correctly. MetaMask actually has a residual file that's on your actual your platform, your PC or your laptop that you have, and that is only protected by a password, and the residual file is encrypted, but it's unencrypted by using your same password. So it's not very secure. I really recommend that you do that migration and then you create a brand new Trezor wallet to be your vault wallet. If you want to be led through this, there's a video. You can do a search online on YouTube for Hex migration. It's the second video that comes up. It's the Wake Up Hex show where we walk you through it very casually. It's 9 minutes long. It'll explain everything. And if not, I'll see you in the voice chat. And don't be shy. We'll figure
Or
figure
9
something
inches. Is it 9 inches or 9 minutes?
out. Whoa! And then there was a yellow dragon. Yeah, he's mouth agape. He's amazing.
why do you even have
Good
that?
shit.
He's Hex Chinese lion.
He has to
Hex
go
Chinese
after the show to parade.
Chinese version of Patrick.
Yeah.
I hope that answered Riapia TV. Narapia
He's been around.
TV.
I think he's been around in the community a while. I guess he's just getting his security up. That's cool.
Is it
Yeah.
Chris?
Don't be
Is his
scared.
first name?
It's all good.
Is his first name Chris?
Yeah, I remember. I think it's Chris. Yeah.
Chris, don't
Chris,
be
right?
scared. Nothing to worry
Yeah.
about.
Vince, I sent you the links on
yeah.
Telegram.
Yeah, one sec.
I've got some disturbing things to share next as well.
Uh-oh.
Whoa,
Oh,
disturbing, huh?
Are we
Yeah,
going to go back
disturbing.
to our original ghost stories from our early days of
No,
HexAsians?
That's Halloween.
That was fun. I missed that.
Oops.
You're going to have to invite Miss Exquisite back again to tell you
yeah.
more.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hair raising type of. That was the only time that we had her voice done properly. Remember, it took us like 3 months with the hello,
Yeah.
hello. That was it. That's all we got from her.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
Oh,
Should I play this with audio or with?
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Audio.
With audio.
Ooh.
Yeah, with audio.
It's
got the muted sold it on the doubles muted.
Okay.
Yeah, that one's better.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. Let's go.
Full screen this. I can't believe they put Lyle help.
Yeah.
おい、先生呼んでこい。
Yeah, he's like, you're next.
Is that GG?
Oh shit! Oh shit! Look at you. Ooh,
Metallic.
Lark. Is that Lark? Yeah.
Got it in the ass. Oh. Whoops.
Wow, his neck must be pretty hurting. Uh-oh. Ooh. Oops.
Oh my god!
Well done getting that,
That's the
King.
best.
That was the greatest, man. When
Yeah,
you
I
requested
didn't-
that.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw him, they were saying like, which way should he do it, the bonnet or the samurai? And of course, everybody's like the samurai. I'm like, oh shit! And I was like, yo, Richard, can you give us a classic thunderous Konichi? And he already knew what to do. He's like, oh yeah.
He already knew what it wanted to do.
Oh my god!
That was awesome.
And that was probably the greatest freaking
Yeah.
video ever. The subtle movements of the head as he walks in the door. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
is the best.
that's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of work. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Great stuff.
But you notice Roger Ver is in that video, and Richard allowed him to escape. So that's
Aw.
Oh really? Oh really?
yeah. You didn't see
What?
him? Yeah,
No, I
Roger
didn't-
Veer's
I
in
didn't
the
No.
opening scene.
No.
Yeah.
Oh really?
You
Oh,
could, if you want.
wow.
Yeah. If
Oh
you
wow!
Wow.
if you want to freeze frame it, yeah, he's right there.
That's a detail. Oh, okay. I did
lot
not
of
see
details.
that. I did not see that. The
Roger claimed his free Bitcoin hex. Sorry, hex.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
that's why.
Free claimer confirmed.
Mr. Ver. Is it? Ooh. Oh.
But
What
happened?
I think this is the advantage of streaming on this channel. We don't have to worry about copyrights as much.
Because
Anyways, this is like parody video, so I don't think we can get a copy. But do watch the. Is it on HexGate's Twitter or on his
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on his Twitter.
Hexagate, yeah. Hexagate, yeah.
HexGate?
Yeah,
He's
put the link
amazing.
in the private chat if you can get to it.
What's this?
so talking about Roger Ver, Richard just tweeted about there's this guy that claimed 47,000 Bitcoin into claimed hex with 47,000 Bitcoin.
God
So-
damn it.
What?
Yep.
What, as a sacrifice?
No.
No, it's the Bitcoin free claimer.
During the
Oh, right,
adoption
yeah.
amplifier.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the old days.
Back in the old days. So
Added 2.5
so-
mil.
so it could be it could be Roger Ver. It could be Roger
Or-
Ver.
Or could be Craig Wright.
No, he won't. He
No,
won't.
no,
Because
no
he
way.
makes no sense.
No.
He would take credit for the invention of hex, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
47,000 times.
47,000 Bitcoin. Yeah.
And how many hex do you get for that? Was it 10,000 each Bitcoin?
Yeah, 10,000 if he claimed on the first week.
Think he got 92 million hex.
Oh, 92
Wow.
million?
Oh, it also depends on if he like self-referred.
Yeah,
Because that would boost it by like 30-something% or what.
There was there's this whale that just appeared. Claimed 92 million hex with Bitcoin, which makes him the second highest BTC free claimer.
Wow. And he's still active?
Yes, sir.
With his hex?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
And he added liquidity, or did he actually? He did.
He added he added 2.5 million USDC.
USDC for liquidity.
Yep.
Wow.
To X. Yep. Mm-hmm. So this guy's
amazing.
Amazing.
He's a true hexagon, not a dumper.
47 million.
Original
sure
Bitcoiner.
Isn't D01 whale.
D01.
Wow.
That was so funny.
Can we see his staking ladder? Does he have any? Does he have any stakes out there or none?
I guess so. Because Richard just yeah. Could you put?
Okay, guys, let's stop talking about my wallet.
You see?
Please don't do chain analysis.
Oh boy!
Like the only time you should be looking at somebody else's bowl is to make sure they're having enough. Is what my philosophy is. So, anyways, even if you look at the wallet, you cannot predict what they are going to do. Like everybody was thinking when I think D01 was going to dump on us again.
Yeah. But then he staked.
Did you say look into somebody else's bowl?
Bowl, yeah.
Okay. The only bowl that I look into with confidence is Wales' bowl to see if he's going to pass that pipe over here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Don't finish it all, Wales.
He's packing it in right now.
Yeah, so to make sure they have enough. Yeah.
Apparently, in this address, he only has a single stake.
What?
That's 50 million.
50 million?
25.
To when?
It expires at the end of February.
All right.
All right.
That could be bad.
Million?
Ooh.
Or
he's testing out the liquidity so he can get restake. Even if he doesn't, that would be a nice time for us.
I'll text Roger and ask him, hey, what are you doing in February?
Is this your wallet?
Your wallet?
You got anything going on in February that has something to do with Hex? What the heck?
Yeah. Well, I got to make my money some way. Bcash hasn't really panned out, has it?
Oh, did you see that on Twitter? There was someone dropped a clip. I think it's just a joke, but it's Roger, some guy opening up a Uber car, and Roger's driving. He's like, "Are you my Uber?" And Roger's like, "Yes, I am." I'm like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, I seen that. I think it was on Twitter. I can't remember who it was. But...
It's like some people.
Hey, what's up?
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Yeah,
Hex is the wave. That's his channel.
Hello,
Hex is the wave.
Hey.
Wow.
Meet you finally.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been muted or. Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
You're good. You're good.
Bit of a delay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in America, so.
Nice.
Oh,
Good morning.
sir.
Good
Nice you
morning.
made it.
Good morning to you.
We have a Chinese, Korean New Year's.
Yep.
Happy New Year.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
It's New Year for our guy in
Yeah.
I'm here first.
Up here, yeah.
Up there.
The
guy over
sunrise is
there.
first.
up there. Yep.
That's
Yep.
it.
He's first.
That's
Yep.
me.
The next one will
In
be
30
me.
minutes.
30 minutes? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I do have
Mine's
to
in-
go off and say Happy New Year to everyone. That's, the tradition.
Oh yeah.
He's got
What
a.
else? What traditional foods do you have to eat? Like those moon cakes and stuff like that.
Moon cakes?
No,
Mooncakes?
is,
No.
like
No, sir. No,
Gold
sir.
water, isn't it? Gold water, Japan.
What?
The water
Water?
Water.
What?
Water.
in Japan.
Water.
In Japan, they drink the water with gold flakes inside, or so.
Oh yeah, the gold flakes.
Wasn't that?
Yeah. That's New Year's.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
The
that's
champagne
weird.
or what is it? Is it
Yep.
champagne or is it sake? Sake?
Amazake? What are you talking about?
Yeah, the one with the
Really,
gold,
really sweet
the
one?
gold flakes in it.
Oh. So, what other traditional foods that you got to eat today? There, middle class.
I think the food is a complete luxury, though. But I think that the most important action is that all your family members have to come back for dinner.
Yeah.
It's called the
family
It's called the reunion
Yeah,
dinner.
it's a
Yeah.
reunion
So it doesn't
dinner.
really matter what you. Yeah. So of course, everyone's financial circumstances are not the same. So if you obviously have money, then you can go and get like say abalone or something, some
Yeah.
delicacy, sea cucumber or
Yeah.
something, right? But if you can't, then just as long as we all have a huge hot pot, you can throw whatever in there. Everyone comes back. Well, everyone comes back to the family residence and have a meal.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
main,
That's all that
thing
matters.
of interest is people coming together and being together, and
Family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
family,
So-
family only.
family.
So it's just like Christmas or
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. Yeah.
I guess in terms
Yeah.
of food, there's also like you could make the analogy that like, there's a little symbolism in like eating noodles because the length symbolizes
yeah.
like longevity and
Yeah.
having a long life.
Yeah.
So, that
Yeah,
sort of
similar
thing.
to Japanese. Yeah, what is it? Soba. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
soba.
It's really fun because
Motley
Toshikoshi soba.
Molly wants to know where his red envelopes are. Just go ahead and.
Isn't he sent them out with the
I've
tickets
got one.
inside?
Oh,
man, you got one.
big money.
Look at that.
There you go.
Yeah. Mine's got no money in there. Mine's got
As for me, I've transitioned from receiving them to giving them out to family.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same.
So my kids, we call it sebe. So sebe in Korean is big bow. That's when you're bowing to your parents and you bow all the way to the ground. Yeah. And so they do that. Even here in America, they go to Korean school and they do their sebe and they get their envelope with money. And my kid, they just won the 5555 at the Hex workshop. Well, I won it and I'm gifting it to my two kids.
Awesome.
Oh,
so
Awesome! Congratulations.
So they had Pulse Chain's coming out, so we're gonna get double, right? You get your copy.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So I'm like, hey, let me do
Yes, sir.
a T-share per kid, right, for the two boys, and then they could do a 5-5-5-5-5 stake, it's gonna be really exciting. But the cool thing was, my son came back the next day. He did his sebe, and he got the envelope. He got the money. He pulled it out and he gave it to me, and he's like, "Dad, or Appa, buy some Hex."
Wow.
Nice.
Dollar
he
cost
knows what
average.
Dollar cost.
Nice.
Oh.
Oh man, this doesn't even cover the gas cost. Try again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I
That's cool.
bunch it together and I give it to him when Pulse Chain comes out. So
There you go. Right done.
that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, but on that point, while we wait for Pulse Chain to launch, if you want to buy small amounts of Hex, this is not a recommended way, but you can buy Hex on Polygon via QuickSwap. It's of course you cannot stake those Hex, nor will you get directly copies of those Hex, but you can
Yeah.
still hold them and sell them on a double. So if you are buying,
Yeah.
I would say less than $100 of hex, then it's one of the options, and it's kind of popular in India because yeah, yeah, $100 is a huge amount. Like,
Is it
Yeah.
perhaps
I'm
because
just
Matic was founded by local people
yes,
and they trust it?
yeah,
well,
yeah.
cost wise, I don't know if that's a great idea because there's not a lot of liquidity on there, and you have to bridge it back over anyway, and that's another
Uh,
huge ETH fee. So
uh, that's
yeah,
only if you want to stake it,
yeah.
bridging
If you
over
want to stake, or if you
other.
want to get the copy as well. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Just
Oh,
stay the
that's
fuck
an
away from L2s, man. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
but yeah, stay.
I mean, back then it made more sense, but yeah, nowadays,
I
Never
don't
done
know.
that.
You know what's funny? Even back then, I was like, if I gotta pay to get on the layer, what the fuck is the point? Because I'm gonna have to pay to get off the layer.
yeah,
So I just
Uh,
never.
but
I don't
the
know.
thing,
little
the
inside
only
community
thing
joke
is
here.
like Matic is supported by most of in Asia. Most of the
Yeah.
exchanges support it, so you don't. ha- Anyways, if you are going to cash out, you can use Matic instead of. Okay, I'm not going to shill Matic. If you don't, just if you have small amounts to buy, just hold on, and you can buy it when pulse chain launches.
There you
Uh,
go.
Or you
Um,
can OTC from Diraj.
no, no way, no way. I'm not selling.
Okay.
he's secretly Mr. Polygon.
Right.
yeah.
No, but I do like have some other proof of stake coins. Uh, I give full disclosure, but this one, uh, because a couple of people were asking me about Hex, and like you have to pay like $50 for a Uniswap swap if you are going to buy it with Ethereum. So $50 may seem small to people, but in India it's like a week's salary for many people. So yeah,
Hmm.
and
Yep.
oh
Soon we
my
got
God,
it.
we have
We
J
won't have to
everything in
worry
the
about that.
house.
Yeah, shout out to
Watching.
Jay. The song is
Uh,
banging, brother.
Hey,
Yeah,
Jay.
we'll play it at the end. Yeah.
Hey,
Kindly please
everybody
join.
out there listening, please do not share your seed phrase or secret phrase with anybody. Please, I heard another story about it happening again. Please,
Are you
nobody will ask
serious?
you.
Ugh.
Nobody will
3
ask you
times
for
a
it.
day, King. 3 times a day on private messages to me getting rinsed because one way or
Oh my
another,
god.
their seed management is terrible, and they're fucking giving it up to either websites or people saying that it's or support
Right.
or that. It's
No.
ridiculous, guys. You gotta tighten that up, please.
What
Don't
happened to the
do it.
guy is I think he went to Twitter and somebody sent him a link. Click on this link and boop,
Oh
it's
my
over.
god.
You
Click on the
guys
link
gotta
and
realize.
enter
You
your
guys gotta,
phrase and it's over. It was game over after that.
you guys gotta realize, man. That's how these people are gonna learn because us telling them clearly is not sufficient. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So just have to learn the hard way.
yeah,
It's
savage.
nearly every week now. There's a new site coming out with
Yeah.
hex or pulse or any kind of topic related to us.
Oh yeah, there was a very
Take a lot of
Yeah.
people
Lots
away.
of
there
yeah.
was a
There's
good
a
scam that was
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it, Vince, or any of you guys
Yeah.
using the name Pulse, and all they did was
Oh yeah.
literally copy the PulseX site and
Yep.
then change the sack dates so they can steal people's money. So you got to definitely be
Yeah.
careful.
Ugh.
Yeah. There's a Telegram in PulseX. IN PulseX. I'm not sure about whether or not that's a good project or not, but it's probably not because there's right in the PulseX name. So just do your research and be very skeptical about
Yes.
anybody with pulse X in
Stay,
there.
stay away
Yeah.
from these things. And there is also a fake hex crypto group, and which actually has more people in it than the
Than the real
actual
one?
hex group. So
Hmm.
scams everywhere. Be
Everywhere.
careful. There is
And
no hex.
more and more. As time goes on, I
Especially with
guarantee you,
Pulse
we're going
Chain.
to launch.
We need a watermark or something. We need something for the community that we can just share with each other, and then I don't know, something you can't copy. I don't know what it is yet, boy. Some kind of watermark or something.
Get data points.
I think,
Richard said first, and then
yeah,
come to chat and confirm with somebody in the group audio and the
I
video
wouldn't
chat.
even go that far. I would just say if you didn't hear from RH, then it ain't true.
Don't connect.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's always going to tell you.
Yep. By the way, the easiest way to destroy your hardware wallet security is not into a bullshit site, and then signing a transaction that you can't because you're all excited because they're offering something like one, or some other ability to stake at some high percentage rate or something stupid, which will come. And when that comes, you're going to do that, and then of course you'll get rinsed because you're going to give them authorization to actually take everything that they want out of the way. And that's not just the liquid assets, it's also the stakes. So please be wise. Don't connect up with these sites either. No, it's just me. I'm choppy. Am I coming in choppy, guys?
Just slightly.
You sound
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Slightly.
Slightly.
I'm all screwed today. It's restream.
Yeah.
No, it's not your fault. It's Restream. I think we'll move away from
We're
Restream.
maxing out.
Just too bad.
Shout out to August University in the chat. What's up, brother?
Yeah, I sent him
Hey,
a
shout out to
link,
you,
see
David.
if he comes in. But, yeah.
Hope you're coping well, man.
Versology,
Yeah.
Mr. Dolo,
Yeah.
Sandy
Nice.
B,
All right.
Elmon.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, since we have Hex is the way here, do you want to give us your maybe like crypto or Hexa origin story and share like how you got into Hex and all that?
Boom. There you go.
My goodness. Yeah, sure. Shout out to HexAsians. If you look for me, Twitter, Telegram, YouTube, it's all hex_is_the_way. And we've been basically working to gather all the Koreans in my Korea chat. So it's Korea Hex, t.me/Korea Hex. And we have about 93 people in there, so it's pretty cool. The other one was
Nice.
filled with
Cool.
scams, so it was rough. Even Richard Hart would go on there and he'd be like, "What on earth is this? All these scams."
Yeah.
And that's what I try to tell the community. Find a need in the community. Maybe you're not a YouTuber. Who cares? There's so much stuff that we need to get done, and so many people we could help. So if you see something strange going on, I'm not fluent in Korean. I speak some, but just find where you can help out, and you'll grow this community in your way with your skills, right? Yeah. So basically with crypto, I'm one of those people that got involved in Ethereum mining back in 2017. I reviewed what was going on. Crypto was like popping. I looked at Bitcoin and all the other coins. I compared them. To me, Bitcoin looked like trash, and it was going up hot. And I was like, wait a second. I was into computers, computer repairing and building all my life. So I looked at the technical things about the projects and I was like, 10 minutes? You got to be kidding me. Sending in 10 minutes? That's never going to work. Ethereum was like 15 seconds. I was like, okay, maybe they're going to build smart contracts. Smart contracts really interested me. I'm like, this thing has the tech that's going somewhere. So I didn't really ever get wrecked, you could say, in crypto, because I was, instead of going to all those little crazy projects, I stuck with Ethereum for years and years. I mined it 2017 all the way until now. And sadly, I say maybe because I didn't get wrecked, maybe that was part of the issue because I was comfortable enough to like stay kind of like an Ethereum maxi until the devs started like um, basically attacking the miners in early 2021, and we knew mining's probably going to stop, but I got in big into mining in 2020, and it was right before DeFi summer. Man, it was perfect. I had people buying graphics cards for me. I was just like, my house was turning into a smoke box. It was so hot. It's crazy. But I started pulling in a lot of money. Yeah, hundreds of dollars a day mining. I have a video on it on my channel. You could check it out. But um, the the crazy thing is, coins go up and coins go down. So like even with Ethereum right now, when you're mining, well, Ethereum just dropped 50%. So you're losing half the money you would have got like 2-3 months ago, and the difficulty keeps going up. So it's actually pretty rough as far as making money. It's not like staking. Staking is the best way where you could do something like mining without losing, or all the heavy costs of all the equipment, tens of thousands of dollars. And so the cool thing was, luckily, I kind of saw the writing on the wall. And as Ethereum picked up in 2021, I offloaded almost all my equipment, and I made double my money on all those computer server. I was selling them like 8,000 bucks a piece, So it's like, you want to buy my computer? 8 grand. And I had bunches of them, so that gave me a bunch of capital, and so I kind of rode up the Ethereum wave, and from there I was getting into DeFi, and I was like, you know what? Buying the coins is probably a better way. So kind of like what Richard Hart talks about, hey, you could get the coins, and that's actually probably going to do you a whole lot better because like I was mining Ethereum at 80 bucks, right? And I mined a bunch of Ethereum, but what if I just bought a bunch of Ethereum? I would have done way better because it went to 4,800, you know. And it took me a while to get those coins. So it's funny because I was like, what's the next thing? What comes after Ethereum? They're going to proof of stake. Proof of stake Ethereum's not the next thing. It pays you like 4%, 5%. You got to have 32 ETH. And I was like, nah, I don't want to risk 32 ETH, send it over to the beacon chain and never see it again. When is it going to come out? Come on. Uh, so I thought about it, and there's like Coinbase, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, just give us 10 ETH and you're good," and I'm like, that's centralized. I want to stay, in DeFi. So I was already into MetaMask. I had used swapping in DeFi summer a little bit earlier. So I got that airdrop with Uniswap. I forgot about it. Got another I cashed out almost $21 on Uniswap, which I was like, there's 8 grand, that's another big win. And so I'm like, what am I going to do now that I have some cash and probably not going to stay like a big time ETH miner? And at that time, I was pulling in like $300-$400 a day on Ethereum mining. So I was like, man, this is really legit. But the difficulty goes up. So you make less and less money every day. So if I waited, and some of the Ethereum actually went up to the point where I would have been pulling in $1,000 a day, so it can be some big money, especially when some crazy meme coins pumping. So what I saw was, hey, let me get into liquidity pools, and I looked through Uniswap and I said I could make some pretty decent money doing liquidity providing. And I wrote down some of the usual suspects, the Maddox, the Shivas. Um, I actually wrote Hex down on a piece of paper, and I was gonna put in a liquidity pool for Hex. I had never heard of Richard Hart. I never heard of Hex, and I was just looking at the pairs. Like, here's all the pairs. I followed CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and I looked at them every day. You're never gonna find Hex on there. So total gate kept. Sad. At least I caught some of the upswing on some of those coins. Pretty decent. But I realized, the impermanent loss was crazy. I paid some $500 Ethereum gas fees to get in and out of some of these things. Oh man. So I took my money and I realized, okay, Some of those were all right, but I was like getting out in April and I was like, man, this is not it. Liquidity pool mining, you got impermanent loss. You would lose all your coins, you know. So I would lose all my coins and I'd have only Ethereum, right? So it's like, well, I love Ethereum. Okay, I'll take all the Ethereum and then I go in and buy more and I do it again and I lose all my coins and just have Ethereum in that pool. You know, like wow, yeah, this is kind of risky if you like both coins, you know? um, so we might see some of that on Pulse Chain, you know, with Pulse X, and some people are going to get wrecked. I kind of got out after doing it a couple months and I was like, okay, this is not the way. I got kind of, you know, still into the Ethereum maxi mode. And I'm like, let me just accumulate all the ETH I can, you know, ETH is the way, right? And I kind of got more into my maxi mode again, and I'm like, none of this is working. Um, I got into some DeFi yield projects, and the Uniswap airdrop though that triggered me because I was like, might as well go get some more airdrops. I picked up 8 grand on the Uniswap, and so I was looking around on YouTube, and that's where the world's largest airdrop popped up. You know, Richard Hart finally broke through, and I was like, wow, this guy's doing a 5-6 hour stream like whales only. This guy's crazy. No. Oh man, 8 hours. So I popped it in at work, you know, put in my earpiece and I was listening in for a while and I'm like, this is too long. This is too much. He's talking about Pulse Chain. And I'm like, maybe Pulse Chain will solve this $500 gas fee. Let me check back in when airdrop comes, you know. So I checked back in with Richard Hart a few times. I'm listening. I'm like, I never made the connection that he had Hex because he kept talking about Pulse Chain. And I didn't like listen to the whole 8 hours, you know? So, man, so I was like, yeah, I got involved with the weight on Pulse Chain. So it was like I sacrificed day one Pulse Chain. My kids were hyped, you know, they got involved. They had all their money saved up because they were doing some liquidity mining as well. They dumped all their BSC, you know, trash and they dumped it all into Pulse Chain. So they went all in. That's Hexblast and Hexatron. Yeah, they're on my channel, so you can check them out. Maybe they'll share some more of their liquidity mining craze. But yeah, after Pulse Chain, it was cool because we got that delay, kind of, I would say, a delay from what somebody like me would expect. You know, I thought Pulse Chain, it's not that hard to copy Ethereum. You could do it in, you know, 3 to 6 months. But Richard Hart's going for more. So for me, I thought it was going to happen in 2-3 months. I was like, all right, we'll just fork Ethereum. No biggie. We do that all the time. And yeah, that gave me time to really get into Hex and study the T shares and the dynamics of those and how powerful it is with the compounding. Yeah, that was, you know, once you get into it, um, I was really converted. You know, I started to really think about the power of now, you know, before Pulse Chain just made so much sense. And I started listening to Richard Hart, you know, listen to all his streams. And, you know, I had things like gold, silver. I started dumping all of it for Hex. I started moving in all my Ethereum. I started dollar cost averaging, moving my ETH in, and I had bunches of it. So I took a little time, but Richard Hart was saying the market's going to crash, you know. So I think I moved in mostly around 3,900 when ETH was about
nice.
3,900, you know. So it was like pretty good move getting into Hex, you know, it was still pretty cheap. And Richard Hart saved me tens of thousands of dollars just by saying that one thing, right? So yeah, I'm thankful for him. And yeah, ever since then, I started getting involved in the Telegram chats. And I'm not a social media guy, but man, this community, I wanted to really help out and make it grow. Because once you put in a big investment, like you're personally invested, you want to really basically share to everybody else. And especially once you believe, you know, like I thought stock market's been going up too long, it's probably going to crash. Everybody's asking me, hey, what's the next hot biotech stock to buy? And I'm like, oh, great. When people at work start asking me for the hot biotech this or the NFT that, I'm like, this is risky. I got to get out. So yeah, that protected me a lot, I would say. And yeah, just seeing needs wherever I could be, sharing. Um, and the Korean community was weak. I was like, this is a smack to my face. I've been to Korea like so many times. I don't even remember. My wife's Korean, so my kids half Korean, so that's where I said, okay, I gotta get involved and clean this up. And if that could be one of my side projects where I can make a difference, and who knows, Koreans love cryptocurrency and they don't know about Hex. They gate kept, right? So let me get in there and help them out. And I really love the what the HexAsians are doing with the website that's getting translated, where we
The
could have an
language. Yep.
onboarding.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's going to
Have
be
you got? Have you
beautiful.
talked
'Cause
to Frank? You guys met and collaborated because Frank does the a lot of the Korean stuff as well. Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
I invited him to the stream.
mhm.
Yep.
That's
Yeah, so
great.
we have our own little channel on Telegram. We've been talking about just the Korean website, so we could get that translated. And any help he needs, my wife's a pro translator.
Oh, nice.
So that really helps. We have a couple people in Korea, and we have somebody in America as well. That he's an American, but he used to go to like Seoul University, so he's pretty good.
Awesome.
So yeah, the community's growing. It's really exciting to see. Eventually, hey, maybe we get up to like, I want to see like 50,000, 100,000 Koreans, not just 77,000 stakers. We want to see 77,000 stakers in Korea alone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
It will happen.
Yeah. I'm just putting your YouTube channel on the
There's
screen
his
for
channel.
everybody
yeah,
to.
thanks.
Yes. Give him
Yeah.
a sub. Drop a sub.
Awesome. 440
Yeah.
70 people in the Telegram. You got 441 subscribers on the YouTube channel as well. It's not shabby. How long have you been at this?
Just a couple months as far as those two. Yeah, end of October, November. So I started doing YouTube probably basically in December, Christmas time. I had some time off work, so I said, "Hey, I got to make this happen. We're gonna do this, kids." And it's kind of a project for me to build skills with my boys because speaking, making PowerPoints, if they're gonna do a 15-year stake, and for chance they might be set for life, right? So in their 20s, I want them to become something, right? And not just, you know, waste their life away with all their wealth, right? So
Right.
yeah, it's a project as well for them, and hopefully it'll work out.
Curious, how does the gatekeep manifest itself in Korea?
I would say just exchanges. So there is a Korean website that has Hex on it, so I can point them to that. I don't think Hex is on the first page, for example, either. But the exchanges aren't going to carry Hex, and usually a lot of Koreans use the exchanges quite a bit. So that's part of it. But it's, I don't know. I think they really like yield. It's attractive.
Yeah.
Nice mute.
I think we lost him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Losing
Great
his
stuff,
voice all
though.
the way. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great stuff.
Great
though.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
imagine
hoping we might
being in
get
crypto for that long.
Yeah.
Welcome.
And getting
There?
getting the kids involved early is
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's
great.
really good. Yeah, getting them
great,
a good
great
start.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I find that it's motivated to withhold dinner until they stake.
no stake.
That'll do
Yeah,
some
but
stuff.
one thing is we are going to have a liquidity mining rerun on Pulse chains. So that is one thing we guys should be aware of, and Yeah, if
Yeah.
you have big enough bags, you can give a go at it. And again, there is validators. You can. I don't know whether you guys are going to actually start an. I am looking into it. Um, Running a pulse chain validator node. Um, the, the thing is, it's very capital intensive. If you want to really run a node which is like 99.9%, 99.5% uptime and 100% quick, so it will, my estimate for running it in India was around $100,000, excluding the initial stake that may be required from the um, validator set, which is like on other chains it's huge. For example, for BNB it is 10,000 BNB,
Hmm.
and for we know for Ethereum it's 32 Ethereum, so it's like another 100,000 or something. So we
Hmm.
don't know. And on top of that, there is this mechanism of flashing, which can lead to felonies and whatever
Misdemeanors.
Oh, yeah,
misdemeanors,
yeah, felonies,
Yeah,
Felony,
misdemeanors.
yes, sir.
felonies.
Yeah,
for which your validator can get jailed, basically, which is taken out of the
the
rotation
rotation.
chain.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
you know.
yeah, I wanted to talk about it on the previous FN Hangout, but yeah,
No, we never got
RG3
there.
we didn't get there because uh, I wanted to give it an like people are keep asking questions. That's why I mentioned that joke, and I was
Hmm.
going to do it into it, but RG3 just cut off the stream right after. If you
During karaoke mode.
Typical pirate captain fashion.
so that's why I, anyways, the thing is,
Uh,
yeah, I see a lot of people asking questions like, oh, what are these misdemeanors and felonies, what, how will it affect our staking, etc., etc. But
no.
really these are like, what do you want to do with knowing how exactly it works, basic. But be rest assured that if you're delegating stakes, your capital is not going to be affected in any way.
Are you
Only
sure
your,
about that, D-Rush? D-Rush, we
yes,
don't have.
um
Because what
yes,
if the validator is depleted to the point where they're below
uh,
everything? Where does that come from then?
that point does not come in the, again, I the GitLab on Pulse chain is not very specific, but it does say that uh, uh, the felonies and misdemeanors do not affect the stakes of the validators as well as delegators. Uh, but normally in other proof of stake blockchains, it's the validator has to put up a certain amount uh, in upfront, which is, for example, let's take BNB. There is 10,000 BNB, and if you are uh, validator commits felony, then you lose 1,000 BNB and
Wow.
10%, or if it's a misdemeanor, it's 1%, and these ratios vary with each um, with each blockchain, but more or less around these areas, these numbers tend to repeat. And anyways, n- sometimes some blockchain implement delegators getting slashed as well, but those are, even then, they are, you most likely lose out on your staking rewards, not on the
So whatever you
frequency.
delegate is not at risk. It seems like the
Yes.
validator is the one that takes the hit more than the
Yeah.
delegators. Okay.
Yes, because
Yeah.
normally it's so, but we might see some change in game theory by Richard, because
Hmm.
What?
Oh, very nice.
Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Shout out to Patrick out there.
Hmm.
One of my HexAsians out here.
Oh, one of
What
your
is-
onboards?
So
Yeah.
what is he doing? Is he getting a child, or is he
Yeah,
getting a new
getting a
chick, like a
child.
girlfriend or
What?
something?
Yeah. New baby.
Define baby. A baby could be a
New
new girl,
baby.
or literally a child.
Sometimes a baby is just a baby.
Because
So
baby
Sigmund
could mean
Freud
like
said that, yeah.
Like
yeah.
Freudian reference there.
But- and that's why I recommend, if anybody asks what is the minimum length of stake you should do, I always suggest 9 months and 9 days, because that's how much time it takes to make a new hexagon.
Oh,
See what you did there.
That's a good one, bro.
Yeah, always with the zingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
real
so
quick,
you brought up there you
yeah,
go.
Miss Hex wanted me to plug this real quick. Just a collaboration with hexmerch.com. But yeah, yeah, if people want to go to this page, yeah, all the items here, yeah, when people buy them, like all the profits are get donated to St. Jude's Hospital until February 22nd. So yeah,
Nice.
Oh, they
check
extended
this
it.
out.
Okay, nice.
And this is Miss Exquisite's daughter's
Daughter. Little
yeah,
Hexquisite.
it's her daughter's
Little
graphic, and
Hexquisite,
it
yeah.
is great. You can't
Yeah.
see it very
Nice.
Yeah,
big
let
on the
me see if
screen,
I
but
can.
can you blow that up? It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was
this,
looking like Kevin had it. I thought Kevin might have had it on because it kind of looks similar to what Kevin's
Yeah.
wearing.
I love this
No,
one.
sir. No, not exactly.
That's an exclusive. Nobody has that yet.
Let's see. I'll drop the link in chat.
Yeah, we saw the original black and white version of this, and I said, "Oh, it's beautiful," but man, with these colors she picked out, it's really, really nice.
Yep, that's another story of the youth of the Hex community taking part and doing good things. You know,
Doing
with a
good work.
sci-vive and just being a better human.
You know, speaking of youth and children and nutrition and all these wonderful things coming together, Vince, I posted a few pictures. I thought that we would, you know, we always have to come back to food with HexAsians. And I think one of the new trends that we must be conscious of in this new Chinese year is that, right now in China, they are trying to get around the whole issue about creating enough protein to feed people, renewable protein. So they're experimenting with what's the next iteration of protein that you can do? Bugs, right?
Bugs, yeah.
They're trying to, yep. There's actually a roach farm, I think, in Beijing that they're trying to make roaches from pupa to table, basically. And it's not a trend that is particularly only in China. It is actually coming to Japan. Remember, in Japan, traditionally we have these kind of candied crickets that they eat here over here.
Man.
And my wife sent me these pictures now available to you in every major station are bugs on demand. So Vince, if you can bring those up, you can take a look. I'm not bullshitting. This is going to happen. So
Yeah.
if you take a look at them,
I mean, yeah,
you guys can
like in
translate the
Thailand.
beautiful names of them.
Can you guys see it now?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yep. This is just an alternative type of food store, and you can see they've got like different types of meat. You see camel and boar and
Antelope?
deer, which is not
Oh, deer.
crazy. It's not crazy, right?
Yeah.
Deer and elk
Crocodile.
and alligator is what they spec in.
deer.
But that machine on the right is the one thing I want you to focus on. In the upcoming pictures, you can see a detail
bug.
because it gets
Bug, yeah.
freaking weird. Yeah. And this is an
They have
oddity. This
vending
is like just
machines?
kind of weird. It's a vending machine. It's all in a vending machine now. And take a look at the prices too. In the next shot, you should be able to see the vending machine. So here's a vending machine. How to pick a cricket, so to speak. And these are the prices, which are not cheap.
$10.
It's not cheap.
$10.
Not cheap. Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't try one yet, did you? Or you
No. I told her let's take pictures first, and then we'll slowly think about it. Maybe after we move out of Japan.
Because I know in
I would like
Thailand, I mean, it's not something weird for the Asia community with eating bugs, but yeah, to see it going mainstream in Japan, yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
wild.
that's
Dude, see,
Step up.
look at the lower
Yeah.
part. This is just crickets, right? But there's
Yeah.
other
The
stuff
chocolate.
in another machine that I put a picture. I put up a picture. The other one, the white background vending machine, in another picture. This is still the cricket machine. You can see the prices are not cheap. $8, $13,
Mhm.
basically. And this is not like, a whole bento would cost you 1,000 yen.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Here you are, 1,300 yen to go try it. But again, the Japanese will catch on. I guarantee. People start giving these as gag gifts, and next thing you know, people start saying that wasn't that bad. I think I could go for a bowl of crickets.
Cricket gyoza.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, it's called inago, right? Have you guys tried inago?
Let's see.
No.
Okay, it's like barbecue sauce
This one up.
covered cricket. There you go.
What the?
It's
Oh,
a
there's
normal
all
thing.
the way good.
Normal thing.
But thanks.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
Can you zoom in on this one? Because this is
Yeah.
different. This one's different.
Let's see
This
if
one
I
gets a
can-
little bit crazy. This one has not just crickets, but as you can see on the
Is that a
bottom,
spider?
there's spiders,
Maggots.
there's scorpions,
$26. Oh,
Yep.
wow.
yep, cockroaches,
Oh,
and there's these stag beetles up at the rhino beetles, as you can see on the left.
oh yeah.
That's
So they're gonna
very,
stop
very-
selling bug spray, and I guess if you see one of these critters in your house, just eat it.
I don't know, man.
Might want to deep fry it first.
I don't know. There's plenty of them
okay.
around,
Chat
yeah.
already and shit.
Yep. Roaches check in, but they don't
What's
check
the
out.
world come to?
So that was
In
that was an
Korea.
interesting thing I was saying.
In Korea, they have a silkworm.
It,
You eat the silkworm larva, basically silkworm larva. So, yeah, I don't know if you can pull up a picture of that, but
um,
I have one on my phone, but it's kind of hard to see.
Okay, yes. Yum, yum, yum.
That's
That
very
looks delicious.
important. Kids, when you go to the ocean, basically you get a day off of school, you go visit the ocean, you got to eat your silkworm larva. Just the thing to do.
Looks like Cocoa Krispies.
Nothing goes with the beach quite like a silkworm larva.
Well, I'll tell you what. I can't wait to spread some of my toast later.
you.
Should be good. Yeah.
It's already in protein. Oh, you've got to be kidding.
Can you go back? Can you go back there?
Some protein powders.
Oh god,
yeah,
it's already
yeah,
on.
yeah,
there.
that's true.
Okay.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
Creatine.
Tell people stop consuming these funky things that you don't actually know what's in them.
They're
and
sprinkling it in there.
That's what you get.
Wasn't there some weird stuff with Starbucks drinks a while back? Some of the red dye was like bugs.
Red Velvet,
bugs
yeah. Red Velvet is from Beatles already.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
So
The red for
it's
the
nuts.
carmine color comes from the crushed abdomens of bugs. Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
So we've been eating them for a while. We didn't even know it.
How about that?
You
Well,
got a
get
restaurant.
out here.
Excuse me, would you care for some cockroach legs toppings?
Yeah.
Or something? Oh, sure.
be like,
I'm
yeah,
sorry, I'm a
just-
vegan.
So I guess the restaurants with D ratings are going to be very popular because they have bugs
Yeah,
crawling
about to
everywhere.
get those A's,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Oh shit.
they're gonna flip the script on those. Now you got an A.
That's crazy.
You gotta
You gotta look for the ones that have the.
bugs crawling everywhere.
I think
Well-
what's going to happen is later on, there's going to be a trend where they say, "Oh no, we can't eat that. Let's eat fake, crickets or something like
Oh, yeah.
mock crickets or
They're
Mock
endangered
cricket.
now.
Mock cricket is made out of cockroach.
Impossible
Oh
crickets.
shit!
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you seen in China how they make rice with potatoes and they put a little plastic lining over
Yes.
the
Oh my
potato
God.
and it looks
Yep.
like rice?
So,
Oh, that's good
It's
for
horrible.
your. I thought they were making the fake plastic rice. Did you remember that?
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a huge scandal. back in-
Yeah.
Fake rice.
Yeah.
It's like not melamine. What is it? The plastic, the white plastic, and it doesn't
I don't remember.
absorb any water. People in Japan were saying, "What's going on?" Because they got all this imported rice from China, and they're like, "It's not cooking the same way," and they were getting sick. What do you know?
Wasn't
What
even
do you
rice.
know?
Yeah,
What do you know?
Oh wow.
but potato with a little plastic condom on it sounds delicious.
Oh.
It's like eating the end of a
Get some
shoelace.
ketchup on that. Get some ketchup on that.
No, he likes mustard or mayonnaise. Pop up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Get
shut
some
up,
creepy
man.
mayo
Weirdo.
on
Enough about the mayo. I'd rather eat bugs.
that.
Like a true
Oh,
weirdo.
yeah.
Ugh, too old to try new food. Yeah.
Fin
sure.
bears in the house.
Yeah.
Yo, Finber.
Shout out to you from there.
Finber. I was
Oh, check
oh,
out Jay Everything. Altern breatharian, just blunts and oxygen.
Yeah.
Well, I'm pretty much there most of the time. Yeah.
He needs to get on Steak and Bake. He needs to be on Steak and Bake with Corey and
With,
Freddie. Quartz.
Freddie. Yeah.
I
mhm.
love that. Breatharian.
Sick future.
Sick future. Oh, why am I
There
so
we
bad?
go.
Not yet.
Bulk,
Can we look
bulk
at
roach.
some good food from the Telegram chat
Some good food.
just to get the
Get the taste out of your mouth.
Is there-
Get the legs out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Bugs out of your mouth.
like
the larva.
Get the larva out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Silkworm.
My God.
but,
So, any projections on when Pulse Chain is actually going to launch?
Oh, 2 more months.
4 more weeks.
4 more weeks.
4 weeks.
I think probably within 4 weeks after the end of SAC phase, maybe.
Yeah,
First
I'm
of
thinking
April.
that's
Yeah.
Aim for something like
Yeah,
that.
they still need to calculate the Pulse X.
Yeah, because they'll have to do all of that too. They'll have to clean up Pulse X and all that shit too. So.
Yeah.
So they got to build the bot, right? And they got to test the bot, and then they got to
Yeah.
do the tallies,
The
and that's it,
DAO,
isn't
the
it?
bot, and the SAC balances. Yeah.
Oh, and they got to make the name for the
The,
The reward
the
token.
token.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what
Incentive
everyone
tokens,
cares
yeah.
about. That.
yeah. Could be whatever.
That's
Whatever.
not like,
X, Pulse XY.
Pulse XYZ.
Hey, have you guys
Right,
figured
Pulse
out the way
XY.
of the naming schemes for the bridge tokens? Did you guys play this game yet? I would really love to see it written
No.
down on the
I
board.
don't care. It doesn't
Oh,
matter, man.
you'll care. You will care because you're going to be sitting in the stands with me watching the mayhem and madness when all the ratios are available for trading and people are racing back and forth.
ETH, P hex. Yeah.
PEE.
Everything E
PE.
is off of Pulse Chain.
It's off of
Everything regular is on Pulse Chain. That's
It's
all
on
you need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's very
You're
simple actually. Yeah.
But you're bridging value over to get onto Pulse Chain. You got to know that you have your ETH to trade it for
EPE.
Wouldn't it be called Peace?
Hex.
Peace?
Peace.
Peth?
Yeah, true. PETH. Yeah.
But is that gonna really exist? I don't. Is that gonna really be a thing? I
On
don't
Pulse
think
Chain,
so.
yeah.
Yep.
On
Oh
Pulse
yeah,
Chain.
there's
What
gonna
if-
be a ETH version of on Pulse.
Well,
Yep.
it has to be
No,
There's
around.
gonna be a PE
It's called EETH.
or E.
I'm not
E.
kidding.
What it's
EETH.
called.
It
Never
starts.
mind.
It's wherever it
It's
starts.
either
Originates.
EETH.
That's
What
the
about
little E.
sheath? A
Sheath.
piece of sheath.
A piece of shit.
Piece of beef.
Peace.
What if
Is that like a new beef
once?
or something?
Beef.
Yeah, it's what vegan beef is.
Are you? Is that beef? No, it's beef.
Pulse beef.
It's better. It's even better. It's beef.
We put the
Oh,
protein
man.
at the front of the word.
Right?
Oh shit!
That was funny, man.
That's good.
Yo, we have a good time. Oh,
Good
did you
sheath.
guys? I don't know if you guys have seen because you guys are mostly overseas. But last night I produced a chart that basically gives us price action for Pulse Chain ever since the end of SAC phase. And long story short, we're basically a 21x if the math is accurate, which I think it is because it's based on the pools. We can talk about the methodology if you guys want.
Please.
Yeah, if you want to
Sure.
go into a little chart action, by all
Yeah.
means.
Yeah, sure, we can talk about it. Give me a second. Let me get my work crap out the way. Hold on.
Alright.
Get the crap out the way. It's just one chart.
I found the while Wells getting ready, token hex. If you guys are out there looking to, see what the testnet does and how to play with it, token hex has a good. I think he has like an hour-long stream where he goes into, the faucet, the staking on the testnet and all that. It's very very informative, and he's just having fun and showing you how to play with the testnet, and which we encourage everyone to participate in because the more people testing it out, the better. So yeah, check it out.
Absolutely.
Token
We
Hex.
always encourage you to play with yourself.
Papa, you're so ridiculous, man.
Absolutely.
Before we go on, I'm sorry. What about
You good,
how
you good,
about
man.
freepulse.io? What do you guys think?
Oh yeah. I've been playing with it. It's pretty
Me
cool.
too.
Yeah,
me too.
actually, I was pretty skeptical about that, but it turns out one of the founders of that is actually one of the devs that's working on Pulse Chain. And
Pulse Chain, yeah. and
That's
Pulse X,
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so that was really good to find out. Yeah,
Yeah, I
And
think they're
it's a
putting
great
their own money
onboarding
up
thing,
too.
you know?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're putting their own money up.
Well, I mean,
I'm
it's
because I saw him
amazing that
he
now
was
the
doing
answer is
rags
what
to
do I
riches.
do? I can't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Stream. Sorry. Go ahead, man.
That's all
No,
right.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you for a second. And
And
got delayed.
it was interesting to find out that a fellow HexAsian, Miyamoto, is one of the guys behind the LL action, Liquid Loans.
Oh, Liquid Loans, yeah.
Yeah, Miyamoto. I guess he's part of that group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
So let's
Will,
talk about
Waiting
this
on
you
chart.
were checking out Telemundo for a second, weren't you?
Yeah, no, I thought everybody was still gonna be yapping and shit, so I was just being quiet.
He's like humming the McDonald's tune. He's like,
All right, so let me walk you guys through the methodology of this chart.
Do I
Basically,
need a
what I did,
diaper?
yes.
Oh, nice. Good old
Basically,
diaper.
what I
It's already
did
full.
was I took. Well, you're gonna need another one. I took all of the ratios, right? Like I basically just calculated the price by hand, and the way you do it is by taking all the ratios into account, and then coming up to a number that you can multiply by the price of hex, because that's something we know the value of. We know that we know it has a value, right? So since this is going to be one of the liquidity pairs for Pulse itself, we can use it as a way to measure its actual value. So first things first, I found the current supply day over day for Ethereum. So that's step one. Step two was finding the supply numbers for Pulse Chain. And what I did was I used the values that we used for the testnet to SAC balance validation. So it's like 127 trillion pulse and a half or something like that. That's the number. And that's the only constant in all of in this equation, right? Because we can't ascertain day over day pulse supply, right? Because that's just uh, a constant, because that's the best number that we can use, because it's the most accurate representation of where pulse is right now, right? Because that is confirmed supply. We don't actually know what the value is of any supply that was created after the end of sack phase. And then the further out away from the end of sack phase you go, the more negligible that supply count is. So it's really not all that important. If anything, I might be missing 20 trillion or so. So if you want to do the math on that, you could say that I'm 25 trillion off thereabouts, my estimate. So in order to ascertain that difference in price, you would take this value, which is it's two zeros, three twos, and a nine. So that's like this value right here. Um, and then you would take that 25 trillion or whatever and divide it by the 150, and that's the percentage it would take off. Sorry guys, fuck.
Whales got picked up by the one time.
I missed that.
It's not a whale stream without the sirens.
Yeah.
Or the plane taking off.
Or the lighter flickering, or the
Yeah, right.
So sorry guys, all right, man. Yeah, some days it's really quiet, and some days it's the fucking world is ending. Anyways, so I took the supply of Ethereum, right, and then you have a supply of Pulse chain, right? So I took those two values, Pulse and Ethereum, divided Pulse by Ethereum, and that gave me how many Pulse per Ethereum, right? What is that ratio? And that number ended up being 1.082 million Pulse per ETH, right? So now we need to figure out, okay, well, now I know what the value of Pulse is in ETH terms over time. So now I need to find a way to find out how much hex per pulse I have, right? Like, what does that ratio look like? Go ahead. I like somebody has a question.
No.
No.
I'm
Okay.
yeah, I'm
No,
taking
no
it all
worries.
in.
Cool. No worries. So then we try to determine, right, what is that hex to ETH ratio? That's step two, or PLS to ETH ratio is step one. Hex to ETH ratio is step two, right? So how much hex per ETH? Because we have to remember we're trying to figure out how much PLS, how much hex per PLS. So we already know how much PLS per ETH, right? We just determined that. So now we need to determine how much hex per ETH, and then we can cancel out the ETH and that gives us a number, which then becomes hex over PLS, which ends up being a decimal number, right? So let's walk over these steps again. Most recent supply number for Ethereum is 117.6 million Ethereum. The supply number we have for Pulse Chain is 127.4 trillion, based on the SAC balances that were accounted for the testnet 2 update, which is 127.4 trillion, again 127.4 trillion. And then when you divide those two values, right, Pulse by ETH, you end up with a Pulse to ETH ratio. So now we can give Pulse some type of value. So one Pulse is worth 1,000,082 Pulse. All right. So one Pulse is that much, or one Ethereum is worth that much Pulse. Okay. And then we have to determine how much Hex per ETH. So we're just going to take the price of Hex and divide it by the price of Ethereum. Straightforward. And then we get the quantity of Hex per ETH. So now we need to determine how much Hex per PLS, right? Because we're trying to find a value that we can use to ascertain a dollar figure for PLS. So we divide the ETH or Hex per ETH value by the PLS per ETH value, and that gives us a decimal number, right? But that decimal number is a representation of something that we can take and use the value of Hex and multiply it by. So after I get that decimal number, which is 0.01185, I take that number and multiply it by the dollar value of Hex. And that is where all of those plots on the chart come from. So I'm literally taking all of the values that exist in real time at a certain point in time of the day and extrapolating what a theoretical value for PLS could be. But the interesting thing is that given that these are actual values on chain in real time, this is probably the closest realist value that we can get from the market, right, with respect to what PLS is, because we have to remember these automated market makers price things based on what? Ratios. And that's literally all I did. So that's it.
Nice.
Yeah. So pretty sick. That's a 21x right there for whoever sacked during sack phase. So congratulations to all.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah. In 5 months. So while you thought you wasn't doing anything, waiting for Pulse Chain, there you go.
21x is nice.
Yeah, very. So I mean, the downside of that, let's see, let's say that my supply is off, right? Like the let's say we want to account for that additional supply that we're not seeing, right? So let's say 127.4 is 23, right? So that's 23 divided by 150. That's 15%. So if you want to figure out how many X's away from that 15% we're at, you would take this number. There we go. I mean, yeah, it's really just, so that's how many X's we are. So in between 18 to 21X, right? And that's taking into account the delta based on the supply. That like, let's say it is 150 trillion, right? Pulse total. So big whoop. 17x still isn't too bad.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it too. So there you go, guys. That's the most important chart I've made lately. That's the most important chart I've made. Oh, I made another one though, talking about the price effects. We can go over that one. I streamed about this one last night, and what it looks like relative to what we are actually dealing with. Now, this is something that I'm kind of developing over time, because I don't just make up shit based on fake crap like some people do and call it a model. Models are predicated on what happens in real life, not what we think would happen, right? And what I'm basically trying to sparse out, which I think I have done in a lot of ways because that's kind of what my first video shows, is that based on the fact that we know that Hex is a log-based 2 system, every time it doubles, we can use it as a pivot for valuation on price. Now, what the hell does that mean? Because there's a whole lot of blah saying nothing. So let me explain. Unlike what we're used to seeing for Bitcoin stock to flow model, what I'm working on is based on reality, right? And reality based on what it does in real time. Because models can only be based on things that are actually real. They're not supposed to be based on, things we like to dream up. So taking into account that Hex is a log-based 2 system, and we've already seen that in numerous ways, right? If we go back to my charts, you look at any chart that I have, well, let's go here. This is log-based 2 scale. The graphical return nature of Hex's trend is log-based 2. Same deal here, log-based 2. This is not that type of chart. Again, log base 2. And if you were to look at these prices or look at the scaling of this chart, this is also log base 2. Otherwise, it looks funny. It doesn't look proper. Same deal again here, right? And I've gone over this chart and how's log base 2, uh, a million freaking times by this point. But again, right, you look at the scaling 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, right? All of these are log base 2 values. And if you look at the price action of Hex, it always stops at those points in time. And this is how you can determine that a system is something. What is its behavior over time, right? And it's the same thing when you're looking at, right, both T-shares and Hex. They both stop at those log base 2 values, even though they have a delta, even though there's a spread between them. They still respect those values. That cannot be a coincidence. Things just don't work like that. And that's important people understand that. So let's see here what else shows us log base 2. And we can pinpoint to as being super obvious. Let's see here. There's nothing here. Let's see. Okay, again, total value locked. I mean, these numbers are so astronomical, they're hard to see. So, whatever. Even the ROI, right? The ROI multiplier respects that motion the same, right? And these are all different measures of the same system. So why is it that all of these different, basically rulers measure the same thing? They all have the same stopping points along the way. That can't be a coincidence. It's mathematically impossible. So this is how we know that Hex is certifiably log base 2. You cannot prove it to not be, right? So by contradiction, now I'm doing this verbally. Formally, it would go on paper and you could write all this stuff out, but verbally, by contradiction, right? This is clearly log base 2 because it can't be shown to be anything other than that, right? And this is important because even if you're looking at the scale out here, all of these values are log base 2 as well, and the chart just respects it, right? So taking all of that into account, I can now start to explain why this model is valid outside of the fact that we're seeing price respect that, right? Because as we can see here, we have something called standard deviation. If you're not familiar with that, let's look that up real quick. And it's very straightforward. All we're trying to do is measure the variation, right, in the occurrences and prices. And what that means is we're trying to measure the change, right? How extreme is this move? That's basically what we're trying to determine here. Is this move supremely extreme? Is it not? Is it, something that we're never going to see again? Is this an opportunity of a lifetime? Things of that nature. You have to understand that, right? This is why some people have things that are driven by these statistical models that just work damn near to perfection. And it's because they understand how things in life move from one extreme to the next. Because this is all that we're trying to ascertain when we're trying to determine something called the standard deviation, right? So if you're looking at this bottom scale down here, well, first off, let's just read the definition of what a standard deviation is. Standard deviation is a measure of the amount of variation or dispersion of a set of values. So what does this mean? You take a set of data, you measure out the average of that data, which is what this zero line represents, and then once you go out away from the average of that data, right? That specific data point that you're looking at away from the average is going to be measured in terms of how varied or how dispersed, right? That data point is relative to this mean. And the way that that's discussed or stated is by calling it standard deviation, right? And you got 1, 2, and 3. Oh, sorry. Now, the important thing to understand is that, hold on, let me go back to the other chart, which I think is better to explain this. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you're working Vegas angles already, aren't you?
Yeah, you see that. So when you're looking at this chart, it measures the same thing, right? You got sigma, which is just the abbreviation, the notation for standard deviation. And just similar to the other chart, you got 34.1, 34.1. And 68% of these occurrences in this data set are represented by that one standard deviation, right? So this is known as one sigma. Once you go out to two standard deviations, you're trying to account for 95% of the occurrences, right? And then once you go out to three sigma, you're trying to capture almost all of them, right? So another way to see this in action, just to relate it to something that we're all mostly familiar with, let's look at some random chart with Bollinger Bands on it, because that I think is the closest representation that we can all relate to, because we've all seen this a million times to some extent. Now, I don't use Bollinger Bands much because I have other ways of doing what I do, but I did use them for a long time, and I do understand their purpose. And again, it's just to use it as a measure of dispersion from the mean or variation from the mean. That's pretty much it. All right, so when we throw these Bollinger Bands on here, we're going to see something that we just discussed. Standard deviation, right? So we already know 2 accounts for 95% of the occurrences. And this is what 2 standard deviation looks like, right? When you're looking at it on how it treats price over time, right? Because the whole idea is that you pick a period, right, which is this middle line, and that is your mean. And then the outer bands are determining the deviation in price from that mean, right, that average. So if you're using only 2 standard deviations, you're not going to catch everything, right? You're going to miss some stuff because 2 only catches 95%. Now, if you go out to 3, you'll see that the bands expanded, and you never could assume that that was the end of a move, right? But here you could, because it stopped dead right there, right? It actually went all the way to the third standard deviation, and it literally stopped, right? Like it only could move but so much after it hit that point, right? Same thing here, right? And same thing here, right? And price went so low that it just hit, it damn near hit it, and it just ultimately just was too exhausted and had to reverse, right? But if you notice on the upside, it never actually hits it, right? And it comes and almost touches it, but you're just not able to determine, right? When is that stopping point? But when price hits it, you know it's stopping, right? And these are the kinds of things that you pick up from looking at data sets in this way. What is extreme? What is not, right? Because while you can't get concrete information, it gives you something, right? And this is all you can really ask for from an ambiguous environment, right? So now we understand what we're capturing with one standard deviation, two standard deviations, and three. We're trying to ascertain how probable is it that something is going to continue going in this motion before it ends, right? That's basically what we're trying to determine here. And what I've done is I've basically taken these doubling points as a anchor, right? And I've determined what is the standard deviation around the most recent doubling point, which is 46 cents, which is the current anchor, because that is the most recent doubling point. So again, if we were to go back throughout time, because somebody did ask this question yesterday, all of those doubling points would measure different levels, right? Because we would be looking at different values. Because throughout time, before this, it was 23 cents, and before that, it was 12 and a half, and before that, it was 6 and a quarter. You see, so all of the measures, while they would be similar in terms of the scope that we're trying to capture, the values would be different, but the representation would be the same. So if we look at this as, and somebody also asked an interesting question, which is, well, what would invalidate this? And when I thought about it, the first thing that popped up in my head is time, right? Because everything that we value is ultimately based on that. It's not based on anything else. So the day we stop valuing time is the day we stop valuing money, because we can do whatever we want whenever we want. So that would literally be the only thing to invalidate a statistical reality, which we're all beholden to. Everybody's beholden to standard deviations of life, whether they're freaking 10 sigma or no sigma, we're all beholden to it. And that's ultimately a reality that none of us can escape. So hex price is no different. And if we use these logarithmic values as basic anchors for any modeling, because we have a reference point for that, right? That's what the whole thing about T-shares is about. That's the basis, the foundation for everything in hex. So it's not like it's not like somebody can sit here and say, oh, that's just made up. It's not, right? We're not just plucking this out of thin air. It's actually based on something that has a value because people give it value. So it's backed by something, unlike fiat, right, which is backed by nothing. Go ahead.
Can we say that with the current sack phase that's happening, that Hex is not able to perform as it normally would in a non-sack scenario?
Well, yeah, right, because what we're realizing is that over time, anytime a sack phase occurs, what happens is that the whales do what they can to suppress price so that they can protect their position in the sack rankings. I mean, this is a fact, not even an opinion. It's already happened 2 times in a row, right? So what this ultimately means is that, so look, right now, let me actually show you guys something, because this is, I don't know if anybody remembers seeing this much liquidity in hex ever, but I honestly do not. And let me show you guys. Shoot. What I mean right now, liquidity pool is showing 129 million hex. All right, 128 million. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I cannot remember the last time the pool was that deep. Like, that's a lot of fucking hex just sitting out there. It's been a while, right? So this is gonna pose problems for up move in price, right? For upward move in price. Because now you're not sludging through 60, 40 million hex anymore like it used to be. It's 3x times that 40 million hex that it used to be. So it's going to require 3 times the dollar amount, if not 9 times the dollar amount, because it's typically a square root. So you would have to take the inverse of that square, which is a square. So 3 to square root, the square of 3 is 9, so 9 times the amount of money basically. So this is making things even harder, right, on price action. But here's the good thing, because there's always good news for those that understand what hex is. The good news is that hex is 75% undervalued, because we're now entering this phase where hex is supposed to be $1.85 based on the base doubling rate, which is very realistic. Now, how do we know it's realistic? Well, I got a chart for that, like everything else. And let's go over that chart, because I haven't talked about this chart on here because we haven't streamed in like a month. So let's go over this chart. This chart here. So this chart is proof that hex price to earnings is a legit metric, letting us know that the value you're picking up from the hex system is ridiculous and unheard of, right? So how is that? Well, what is this value? Well, this value is literally the payout you get every day in terms of a T-share. So payout per T-share from the system, right? Just one T-share in dollar terms and in hex terms, right? And I'm taking that number as a numerator and I'm dividing it by that same number for the past 365 days. So I'm giving myself a daily yield, just like you see on go.hex.com, and then I'm annualizing it. So in reality, what people think they're making on go.hex.com is being underreported, right? Because that's only measuring the daily output relative to whatever it's measuring. Hold on, let me go to, because I can't even remember. Let me pull it up. Where is it? Just so I can remember what the math is. Give me a second. Because it's the gain column, right? You have the gain, percentage gain column. Which is just your day payout divided by total stake hex. And then you have the APY column, which is just that multiplied by 365. Right? So what I'm doing is I'm trailing the past 365 days of gains of payout, right, to give you an annual view. It's kind of like a dividend yield number, right? That's kind of like what I'm trying to show you here, because I'm taking that daily payout relative to the past 365 days. You see? And then I'm multiplying that number by 365. So I'm annualizing that daily yield relative to the past 365 days and then annualizing that number. So the gains are bigger than everybody assumes. And this is the proof that the hex price to earnings ratio is not a fraud, because this is the real yield you're ascertaining over time. I mean, 123% in dollar terms and fiat terms, and 102% in hex terms. You're not doing that every day anywhere else. Period. It does not. And again, this is all data that's publicly available. Anybody can crunch this and test the logic. So it ain't like I'm making it up. So it's the payout for the day divided by the payout for the past 365 days, which gives you a daily yield relative to the past 365 days. Then I'm taking that number and annualizing it. So it's just like that number in go.hex.com, daily gain, then they annualize it. Same deal. Because that's how ridiculous this system is. So when we go back to this chart, we were looking at the ridiculousness of the gains. There we go. Hold on. All right, when you look at the ridiculousness of where we're supposed to be, right, we're entering a $1.85 phase, and to consider the fact that the lowest realistic probability is 58 cents, and we're currently trading at 18, 17. I mean, imagine if people understood that. Do you think they'd be crying, or do you think they'd be buying? Yeah.
So we're gonna adopt the NCAA March Madness because that'll be the end of Sack for Pulse.
It might be something like that. What was interesting is that people have been noticing how Hex pretty much behaves the same way over the same periods of time. Because like last year, this was the same deal. It kind of went sideways during this period of time, and it was the same thing in 2020. If you look at the chart, kind of went sideways during this period of time. And the idea or the theory is that you have people staking, for 1 year from launch date or whatever the case is, or a quarter from launch date, right? So during that period of time, you have all these stakes happening, which is end of Q4 through I think it's end of Q1, maybe middle of Q2. And just like last year, right? We really didn't take off until April, right? Like that's when we really started ripping, like end of April, mid-April. That's when we really started to take off last year. And if you look at, let's see if we can pull up. Of course, now the market takes off. Give me a second. Oh, God, hold on. But okay, so why these ugly things? That's how powerful the moves were to the upside. That's why you have these four big lopsided things down here. Because you guys have to remember, this is a system that tabulates the reversion to the mean based on the orange line, which is the mean. So if price is moving this far up, then the band is going to move that far up in that direction, and it's going to move in that proportional direction to the downside. So it just so happens that the downside is weird looking. So if we remove this from logarithmic to regular, it looks normal to the eye, but it's not normal because this is what's actually happening. So that's just another way for people to look at what's going on in the system. Hold on, I don't think I can get what I want from here. This is, yeah, nah, hold on. Let me get to V1 on here. All right. Yeah. So last year, basically, 2020, basically sold off until the bottom of January or early January, right? Then it took off. Then it basically did nothing until March. And then it took off. And then it did nothing. Just went sideways until bottom of September when it did a little W. And then it took off again. And then payday, right? Big payday. Sold off going into that. And then it ripped after. Right, then the system was working this inflation now, inflation. But this is the beginning, right? You had a lot of stakes coming out during this time. I'm pretty sure we all remember that because we talked about it a lot back then. The stakes ending. We used to look at HexAsians a lot and all that, and eventually we stopped because we didn't have a need to, and that's because all of these stakes were no longer ending, and that's really why we stopped looking at it. But now, fast forward a year, right? Same scenario. We had a whole bunch of stakes ending, 10,000x. Like you had a whole list of compounding factors that just were really perfect storm for people to take profits, right? And this is what we've been seeing since the 10,000x. And I think we're reaching a point where sellers are getting exhausted because the selling we're seeing is kind of weird. Like for example, I think overnight we had 2 sales that were like a total of a million hex, 11 million hex. I mean, that's crazy. So, where do these sellers keep coming from, right? And it's from stakes that keep ending in a lot of cases, or hacks that happen in others. So when you take that into account and you look at the fact that these stakes are not going to be around forever, let's look at this chart.
Yeah. We even had the D1 wallet, which he just staked
they
out
staked.
everything.
That's right.
Yeah.
10 years,
We
right?
staked it all.
I don't know how long,
That's a
but yeah,
big
it was a pretty
deal.
long while.
I think he made a
For
couple
January.
different
Couple
stakes. Yeah, like
1 year
one,
stake.
Mhm.
one
Yeah.
1 year, and then a couple 1 years. And
He did
a
one.
longer
I
one.
think he left some amount that was like 69 million something. I remember that because the first stake was like 17 million, and then some other shit was 69 million. I was like, oh, this guy. So that shit was pretty funny. September 22. So look, this is through September 22, right? We only got one big wall, and that's in May 9th, I guess. And then that's pretty much it. Outside of these other two, which this one looks like it's tomorrow. 500
Tomorrow.
million.
Yep.
Yeah, 500 million
Yep,
hex.
that's the
So
last one. Yep.
So then
Not
it's
till
gonna
May.
get scant. It's gonna get scant after that. So
And on top of it, we had over 2 billion hex sacrificed, which was, I don't know,
Mhm.
some people said that was possibly a third of the private liquid supply. I don't know if
it's
that's
hard to
true,
say,
but
man. Yeah, it's hard to say.
yeah.
That's the thing. It's hard to say.
And we need to take into account Daytona's next month, so
We might
maybe a
wait.
lot
Oh
of
yeah.
buyers come in then.
I mean, we got so many things lining up that are positive.
I don't think people saw the or they really understand the buy wall that Richard Hart was like spelling out to everybody. That'd be
Nah,
kind of
people
cool to
usually
pull up.
don't.
But
Yeah,
Yeah,
hold on.
that
Let me
tweet.
pull it
Yeah,
up.
he had the tweet. Yeah.
it was lined up every single penny for hex, 18, 17, 16, 50, 14. And it was about $500,000 on every single price point on hex going down as a buy wall that's going to just eat up the sellers at this point. Just pretty, yeah, it looked pretty awesome
But
when you pulled it up.
Is it still there though? I mean, I was looking for it today. I didn't know what I was looking at. Are the buy walls still in place?
We'll check.
I believe it's on the V3 Uniswap.
Yeah, that's where I checked. Okay. But maybe I just didn't know what I was looking at.
This one, right? You talking about this one? Or no, not that one. The other one.
That was the
Sorry.
Yeah,
not that one.
that's right.
That one was like a day or two ago, no?
Yeah, it was a couple days back.
Yeah. This one.
He's got so many tweets. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it was a few days back. Yeah.
Hex.com bids on Uniswap, 21 million bid on V3. All right. 10 million bid on V2, Hex USDC both. 8.2 on V3, Hex USDC. All those are Hex USDC. So that's what? 30, 21 plus 30, that's 31 plus 39 million right there. Just USD value in Hex USDC. And then 4 million in Hex ETH value. So that's what that's saying. He sent some other stuff too, though. Why does it not show? Twitter is like really bad sometimes with tweets. Hold on.
Yeah.
This is the other
Funny
one.
thing was, some of it got put on the 1% pool, which is pretty cool because if you get a massive amount of sellers, they'll still get a better price, but then you're getting that 1% fee on the liquidity pool. So that's kind of
Oh yeah.
You can make some
I mean,
change on that.
it's hard to find 1% LP pools, right?
Yeah.
Not common. So
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was this tweet.
And that one buy 1%. That's pretty decent.
Yeah. I mean, so let's read it. Somehow magically, even though if I oh my god, right here. I'm not gonna read that. It means there's a whole lot more bids and asks. It means it's easier for price to go down, up than down. It also means that you should be aware of noobs that don't know how to read charts or even which charts to read. All right. So basically, what this little graphic is showing, if price goes down below this point, it has to run into all of this buying pressure. Okay. And this is just a zoomed out view of that. So,
alrighty.
Now let's go to Uniswap pool.
Oh, you're gonna try and confirm if it's still there?
Well, we'll check it. I said we'll check it.
Okay.
Couple clicks.
Hex USDC.
Yep.
Okay.
All the way down to looks like 8 cents. Yep, 8.8. So it's still there.
Wow.
Yeah, last year we used to have one that was like a 6 penny buy one.
Oh, I remember that.
And of
Yeah.
course,
that
we never
Fox
hit
and
it. Yeah, we never
Yeah.
hit the 6 penny. Now we're lined all the way up, every single penny. And one thing that's kind of interesting is perhaps that helps some people get out, which is good because we want them out before Pulse chain. So, hey, everybody
Yeah.
sell down your Hex. You know, we don't want you dumping
Now.
on the Pulse side. Just do it now.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good advice.
Have fun. Have fun. That's basically all you're gonna do after that point. Because it won't be fun for long.
You won't get your copy.
Nope.
Nope.
Don't get it. Do not get it. Look
More
at all
for
those
us.
fees. So the higher the fee spike, right, that means the more the selling, theoretically, or the more price action, more transactions happen on that day. So let's see, July 15th. Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Right.
That was at the start of SAC phase, of course.
Yeah.
July 15th, 2021 was the start of SAC phase. So there you go. That's why it was so high that day. Let's see, what was the start of SAC phase here? It was end of December, no?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it was one of these 2 days.
Yeah.
One of these days. Man, how far we've come.
Yeah.
Anybody still holding out for maybe a late sack if Hex runs up to 25, 28 cents?
You'd
I
have to
think-
wait until the flat phase
Flat
again
Flat
at the
period,
end.
yeah. I think
After the
if-
fifth, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's still a good deal to sag now, man. I mean,
It is now.
if you look,
actually.
yeah, if you look at the math I just did, bro, like that's a 21x from sacking during sack phase. So, yeah,
We're
That was for
about
Pulse. That was for
3,000
Pulse.
to 1.
But that's Pulse 21x
Pulse
for
chain.
Pulse chain.
Pulse chain.
X.
Yeah, we're in Pulse X
Pulse
right now.
X.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. It's still a good idea to sacrifice.
Because you can move that PLSX to Pulse during that.
Well, it ain't
Short
even
time
that.
period.
It's just if you want value, there's still value
Hold
to
it.
be had because you can still pick up a ton of coins per dollar. Right? Look at how much Hex you can get per dollar now, bro. 5, 6. We're talking about 5. We're talking about 1,000x. More than this per dollar still for Pulse X. Right? So that's what you got to think about. You got to think about how many coins you can get because that's where the value is. The value is in the quantity of coins you can get prior to. So this is what I mean when you got to look for those zeros. Now, I don't mean no meme coin zeros. I mean real zeros, like with good, product market fit, things that you know are going to take off.
Yeah.
Not, things that are predicated on people being stupid. So just a bit of advice. But yeah, this is looking like fuego right here.
I mean, to hear Richard say that he's going to empty out all the other dexes,
Yeah.
that's fucking going to be crazy.
Yeah, bro. They're going to have to choose Once that happens, the LPs, right, because they're going to be incentivized to withdraw their liquidity prior to, right, they're going to be basically forced to either accept PLS or buy back their shitcoin. That's what's going to happen. So it's going to be interesting to see, because that's basically what's going to, that position is basically what's going to give Pulse X, Pulse Chain their starting values once that happens, because that's going to happen on both, for both coins.
So those liquidity providers on those other dexes, will they just start providing liquidity by themselves and injecting it into PulseX?
If they want, that's going to be the choice they're going to have to make. Because what's happening is that the fixer bot is taking away the PRC20s and giving them Pulse. Right? Because they're going to remove their liquidity. And then if they remove it and they hold that coin, all they're getting is a copy of that coin. That's literally it.
Yeah.
So if they have ETH or whatever else, that ETH will then be converted to PLS. And that's it, right? If you're talking about PLSX, there's no words on what PLSX is going to be, if anything. Like, I don't think it's going to have a natural conversion like ETH to PLS. I don't think that's going to exist for PLSX. So I think for PLSX, you're just going to be relegated to having whatever, whatever copy of that coin. It's not going to be a representation of anything. So it's just going to either be PLS to ETH and PRC20s and whatever PLSX you sacked for, right? That's literally going to be it. So the AMM, which is the DEX, right, is where all of this stuff is going to happen. All of the yanking and pulling and stretching of liquidity and moving from one place to the other. And once the game begins, so to speak, that is when prices can then be made. Because that's how it works, and that's why I think that this chart is the best representation of the actual present price of PLS if it was to exist in the market. And this is because we have a final supply figure. We can kind of guesstimate what the best number is. So it's probably a solid representation of what that could be. And until we have that data for PLSX, like what the final supply numbers are going to be, we can't actually determine what the proper rate is, because the supply is going to change every day. So we won't have a finalized picture. So it'll just be like some fake number anyway. It won't be worth caring about, if that makes sense.
Can someone explain how that bridging part where people could take their PLSX and try to get Pulse, how is that going to go down? Like, yeah, I don't understand how that's.
You would have to bring over, just like when we had Matic back in the day, right? You got to bridge over ETH or whatever, right? In this case, it's going to be ETH or Hex or whatever. You're going to bridge it over, whatever coin it is, right? You're bridging it over. You're sending it from one chain to another. And then once you get it to that other chain, you need to determine what do you want on that other chain, because you can't keep that representation. It has to be either that coin's representation on that chain or something else from that chain. And that's all bridging really is. Make sense?
Yep.
So you're just moving one coin from one network to another and swapping it out for something on that new network that you're going to. So that's pretty much it.
And then if you're talking about like PLSX to PLS, then that's just a trade, since they're both natively already on the chain.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be native to that's going to only happen on PLS. That's not going to happen anywhere else.
I'm just trying to figure out what's the like what platform, or is there going to be a site, or you just do it within MetaMask, or?
Oh, there's going to be a site. There's going to be a DApp. There's going to be a DApp.
A DApp. Okay, there you go.
That's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be like Uniswap, but just with a PulseX skin.
Right. Right, it's gonna be
Okay.
adapt like Matic, right? You remember back in the day when everybody was trying to use Matic because the gas fees were so crazy.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just like that. It's just gonna be another DAP that we're gonna use, and you're gonna just try to bridge you follow the instructions and all of that, and click the right buttons and don't lose your money. Just
There you
like
go. Yeah.
just like back then.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, now
Shout
this
out
is a
to
question for.
Papa B.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
A question for Papa. Is it possible to once the fork happens, we get our copies? Can we make a separate Trezor and just move over the PLS copy to a separate Trezor?
Absolutely. In fact, that's encouraged, right? You want to spread out your assets. As soon as they become liquid, you can transfer them. So why not, at least create a separate passphrase enabled hidden wallet to stash your liquid in on the same seed, or even better, do a passphrase enabled hidden wallet on a separate
Trezor
seed.
Okay.
That would be called the bad seed. Bingo!
There it
Sandy
goes.
called it.
Oh.
Yeah, so separating your Ethereum wallet with the new Pulse Chain wallet. I know we can't do it for our long stakes, but going forward, you would probably want to create a new one because we've got Avalanche, Matic, Ethereum, Binance, Pulse Chain. They're all using the same secret words. And that's another attack vector right there that it's like, wow, I could lose everything. So yeah, you'd want to have a new wallet on Pulse Chain if you can, or several, right? Where you can start to move some funds and then separate your, your risks. Let's say if you got your Pulse on your big Hex staking wallet, okay, move that Pulse into a new Pulse Chain wallet, right? And like what Papa B saying, you got a chance to get your Trezor now, right? Because Pulse Chain's not out yet. So just order 3 of them and then you'll be good to go.
Yep.
It wouldn't be bad to have assets from different chains on different unique seed phrases, right?
Yeah.
And then underneath that, start to research and feel comfortable and confident about using passphrases. Passphrases are not passwords. Passphrases are not seed words. They are unique phrases that you create yourself, up to 100 characters long. But it's not infinitely, but it's significantly more secure than just a standard wallet. Yes. Yes.
Oh, good old Finbear.
When discount code Papa B.
All right.
I had looked. We spent time daisy chaining those through the community. We got like 65 or 70 people enjoyed those 10% discount codes before Trezor ratcheted those up and stopped issuing them. So I'm like, and just when I was going to make a purchase too, I'm like, can I get one too? No, it's impossible now. They're
good job, Hex community, ruining
Thank you,
Trezor's
Hex.
bottom line.
Exactly, we ripped them up, man. we sacked all their inventory and then took all their discounts and made it impossible for them to give us anything anymore.
Yeah, I think
it's okay. We'll buy the company soon anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the Trezor guys are going to be on. I think they're going to be on Shark Tank next week. They need some more money.
Trezor does?
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, God, be still my heart. With the I'm worried about the chipsets, right? They're going to feel the pinch just like everybody does because they're actually having to get whatever materials they have to get from wherever. But I thought that they would probably feel the pinch in the rawest of the raw materials to make their own chips because that's where I believe that they're made in Czech Republic. Yeah, but without the rare earth material, rare earth metals, and all that other junk, and this, the pins and everything.
Yeah,
that's going to be very difficult for everybody to make all that. So, I mean, from Trezors to washing machines to cars, we're all feeling this now, right?
Yeah.
Phones. Oh yeah, I mean, people are gonna, used cars in the States are supposedly fetching more than or as much as new nowadays because they don't have inventory.
Yep.
Yep, it's everywhere.
We've got all those rare earth materials around the world, Canada, America. We have them. We just don't invest.
Hey, Vince, can we run the song as a commercial break? So we could take a bathroom break or
commercial break. Do you think we're going to go on for another 2 hours, King? Come on, man.
Well, I mean, probably a few more minutes, but we could run a 2
I think
hour.
because we're already pushing 2 hours and 30. So yeah, we'll probably just close out with that.
I gotta run.
Before that, any thoughts on this?
The answer. Wait, can I answer this? No, it's not a taxable event to move your assets from one wallet you control to another wallet you control.
Yeah, it's just like moving, money from one hand to another.
Hey,
hand,
man,
so.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. Stop taking tax advice from random individuals. Because for that question, for somebody to ask that shit, that means some dumbass is out there saying it. Stop.
Yeah,
it.
someone's saying it. Yep.
Stop it. It's not fucking funny. It's not fucking funny. Stop it. This is people's livelihoods. You can't be having people out here fucking pissing their money away, giving it to these fucking criminals. Stop it. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut the fuck up. Taxes are not a game.
Yeah.
All right. Crazy. That's a crazy ass question, bro. I ain't never seen such stupidity. That's wild.
Dude, I get that question a lot.
Yeah.
Wales, it's a common question.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's fucking
incredible. Hey, look, we're onboarding. Yeah, we're onboarding latecomers to the game. Meat on the bone types, and they are sometimes no coiners, and sometimes they are.
Well, that's fine, but that's just a crazy. Like that doesn't even make any sense.
Right. Exactly.
Do you get taxed on moving money between accounts? Like what?
No, you don't. Exactly.
Yeah,
From your left hand to your right hand.
Yeah, that's fucking.
I mean, would it be cool if, like, when you're going to cash out at whether it's Coinbase or Kraken to fiat? I mean, is there a way for them to say, okay, you're cashing out $1 million worth of hex, we're gonna send you 800 something because we're gonna go ahead and pay the tax up front? I mean,
no,
because you guys don't understand, man. You're too busy thinking about the wrong thing. This system, cryptocurrency, is not meant to be playing this stupid game of paying taxes and all this shit. We have to make it happen in order to make this shit grow, to then usurp their bullshit. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. This is
good morning, Uncle Kevin. How are you?
It's New Year's, man. You got to do your rounds.
Yeah, right.
Doing his rounds.
Yep. But,
all right, everybody.
Yep.
Understand, you got to read, guys. You can't just be going off of what other people tell you because they're going to give you the wrong information.
Yeah.
So read. That's the point. That's why nothing also makes sense, because technically you're not supposed to be paying taxes on any of this because there is no legislation on any of this anywhere. It's just people's words being spit out in headlines and press releases. There is no official anything stating anything. So do with that what you will.
Until the FUD hits the fan with the presidential, mandate that we're waiting for.
Yeah.
But the wording on it is, I believe, going to be silly. It'll be like, we definitely intend to look into this thing.
The EO Biden.
Nah, I already went over that. You guys got to watch my streams, man. You guys are out the loop. That shit is a nothing burger.
It's a nothing burger.
Yeah, it's basically a rehash of the Patriot Act. It's crap.
It's bullshit. It's not going anywhere. Just like the American Competes Act is not going anywhere. Like, no.
Yeah.
This doesn't work that way. You don't get to make up shit and try to circumvent the system and how it works.
So is Let's Go Brandon a thing or?
Yeah, it's real.
Cool.
Cool.
But again, we advocate tax minimization, not tax evasion.
Never.
So there you go.
Never ever.
Pay your tax. We need to fund the gold Iron Dome. Okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's accurate.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. With that, I guess I'll play the song and take us out. Yeah.
Whee!
All right.
Thank you everybody for HexAsians is back.
Happy New Year, guys.
Give thanks to the God that we all ate. Hit like and subscribe.
TYRH, Hex flexing like all day. Yes, best investment went all in. Whoa, yeah. And staking, we ballin'. Cop hexing, what's next? Stake stacks to the max. 4 5s and relax. Future me giving thanks. Lil Squid climb the ranks. Unstaking, restaking 80%. Owning my shit, I ain't paying no rent. Feel like a boss on the way to the bank. TYRH gotta give thanks. Attitude of gratitude is natural for a Hexican. Yes, Hex flexing all thanks to him. After every dip we ascend, up into the right be the trend. By design is why ratification delays. Staking letter got me heavily paid. Making cheddar every step of the way. Haters tell them it's a scam. They just jealous they ain't getting okay. So many wish they would've take a chance. Join me and take a leap of faith. They will be singing with me today. TYRH. Hex IQ test from the start. Those involved saw what I saw. Picture painted by Richard Hart. Only haters try shitting on. They lacking vision, ain't really smart. Hexagon's the best of men invested in Hex. Just look at the chart. Haters debating, they hating the facts. That is still outperforming them all. Player been driving a bitch in a moped. Now I'm performing the car. Everything around me changed for the better. I'm so glad Sean singing this song. Days of being a bit of broke ass in the past, right where they belong. Yes, yes. So I gotta give thanks to RH for showing the way. I'm feeding the fam. Used to be dark days when I go to sleep. Now I'm dreaming again. Take a look at my staker app. I continue to win. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. I cop Hex and went all in. Yeah, whoa. And staking, we ballin'. Take a look at my staker app. Long stake, stay getting fat. In my old days, I be okay. Daily pay me in Hex. Instead of hating, you should buy Hex. Try stake and be a clever man. T-shares be the money printer. Printing money like the government. Haters is dumb and they never get it. On board them and they go quiet. Daily pay make them see the vision. Those who ball stay real about it. Come forward and they say sorry. Hexicans don't worry about it. We staking Hex in the staker app. Meeting up, this is throw parties. Make it rain on the pulse chain. Mainnet come with all copies. All of my Hex, yes. All of my ERCs and the PRCs, man, it's gonna be lit. You broke, you're gonna be rich. Stop crying, this hopping this dick. TYRH gotta give thanks. Strategize how I stake mines. Bigger page with a longer time. 4 5s just to nullify any chance of me turning out to be a dead broke ass old guy. Stay staked till the day I die. Restake until I'm 85. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. I cop Hex and went all in. Yeah.